Up. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Porzingis is out there with Jahlil Okafor. And it's Shea in at the point guard. And for Phoenix, Okobo and Booker are their backcourt. Kelly Oubre out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Ayton in at the 5 down low. Shea outside. And Shea throws it down.
A nice aggressive move from Shea, making a decisive move. No hesitation, going forward and converting on the drive.
Booker outside. His three-pointers off the mark. Looking at Dallas, they took that win in their last game against the Kings.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
Absolutely, especially on the road when you need those guys off the bench to up the ante.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Shea with it. Now defended by Oubre. Now here's Shea. He had 34 points in the win against Sacramento.
And one of the big ways he came through was at the foul line. They couldn't contain him. He was equally effective at scoring baskets as well as getting to the line.
Here's Okobo following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. Shoots from the baseline. Here's Ayton. Nice D from Doncic.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Tell you what, for a young player, Doncic has already shown tremendous skill and feel for the game. Beautiful floor awareness there. Well, you look at Luka Doncic, and the one skepticism scouts had was his athleticism or lack thereof, and I think he's proven that's not necessary to be a great basketball player. And he's only getting better as he works with NBA trainers.
Oubre, no one around him. It's rebounded by Doncic.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
To the paint. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Paul Millsap picks one up.
You know, that's not an easy assignment, as Porzingis showed there. He's a lot to handle.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And both free throws good for Porzingis. And, you know, you heard about Doncic. Even if he's a step slow, he's always 2 steps ahead with his mental game.
You know, Kevin, that's a great point. Feel, savvy, experience, know-how. You know, he grew up playing against bigger, stronger guys, and that always serves you well as you go forward. So he understands how to create space and anticipate and feel how to get defenders off balance. I mean, he's just a special young player.
I tell you what, you better watch out, fellas. He is on fire here today.
And we all know what can happen when he gets rolling, Greg. A hot start can turn into an explosive scoring night.
Now, here's Millsap. Will it go? Okafor grabs the miss. We've got 1:55 left here in the opening quarter. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Dallas shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. And the Mavericks making a change here. Powell, he's checked in for Okafor. Maxi Kleber comes in for Porzingis. Justin Jackson, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's DeLon Wright in for Doncic. Free throw, good. Shea.
You know, guys, the Dallas Mavericks with the longest active sellout streak of any pro basketball team. You can put sellout in quotes because they actually give a lot of tickets away to schools and community service groups to make sure that building is full.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. You know, Clark, the Mavericks making their games accessible to Dallas fans, much more concerned with the packed house and the revenue at the gate.
Yeah, and I like that philosophy, guys. I mean, building their future fan base, those fans will be around for a while, giving young people a chance to become Mavericks fans for life. And you start early, and it pays dividends down the road usually.
Dallas leading by 9. And he goes big with the dunk right over Mikal Bridges.
Boy, that'll fuel inject them a little bit with some energy. Che, bringing the fire.
.116 left in the first quarter. Booker looking around. There's Kaminsky. Lays it up and banks it in.
Those arms of Kaminsky go on forever, which helps them snag these second chance opportunities.
The drive by Che. Dallas moving the ball around. Down low and stolen by Booker. And here's the break. Goes up and it's slammed in by Bridges.
And made possible by a heads-up play defensively at the other end.
The Mavericks leading. Jackson passes to Wright. Back to Jackson. Out to the right wing, to the middle. And Che with the basket on the assist by Wright. And that's 13 points for Che.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Bridges, no one around him. Buries the long-range jumper. Bridges has got 5 points so far. Che with it. 1 second left. And, oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Resourceful move there, ending the period on a high note.
Nothing like knocking.
It's been all about Che for Dallas. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter.
Older brother, he was a big fan of it.
And, Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
On the floor right now for the Mavericks, they've got Jackson. Shea is out there with Seth Curry. Then there's Dwight Powell, and it's Kleba in at power forward. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Kings played superbly. He dropped in 34 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. He put up numbers that really jumped out in the box score. A very solid performance. And Kevin will see what he's got in his arsenal tonight.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
Yeah, you know, all indications are that he feels good coming into this one. Feels confident that he can build on that prior success.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. The mid-range jump shot, you've talked about this a lot, is still valuable if you can hit it with consistency.
Yeah, and if it's a quality shot, Kevin, I think you should shoot it.
Just 4 seconds left here in the second. From deep. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. The Mavericks on top, up by 5. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
And, you know, that's not a job they ask him to do very often, but in the first half, I thought he was in perfect sync with his teammates.
Okobo and Booker are their backcourt. Paul Millsap out there with Kelly Oubre, and it's Ayton in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's who's out there for Phoenix. Offensive rebound. Here's Porzingis, and at last they get one to fall. Porzingis has got 12 points in the game. And it's Okobo with the ball for the Suns. 9-point game. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that'll be the third of the 4 straight at home.
And really credit their advantage on the backboard. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
Greg, simply controlling the glass. I mean, plus 10 is the advantage in rebounds right now.
Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. And stolen by Shea. Back to Doncic. Good, and the assist goes to Shea. Shea's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
And stolen by Shea. Now the Mavericks moving it up. And Doncic gets it to go. Doncic has got the lead up to 13 now for Dallas.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Phoenix has gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on threes. Booker, 11 feet out, and he hits it. 7 points in the game.
And how about the move he made there to come up and get himself clear in the lane for the deuce?
The drive by Shea. Doncic passes to Porzingis. And the Mavericks getting another bucket right there.
You know, we talk a lot about confidence right there. Porzingis showed plenty of it.
Suns have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half.
Boy, you look at how tall Porzingis is. He's 7'3", and you add in his skill level, that's a unique combination. No wonder they call him the unicorn. He is unique.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
And you know what? That tells the story in a lot of games, guys. And here you go. It's telling the story tonight, too.
Right side, Millsap. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Millsap's got 5. And Clark, the advantage of height, well known in basketball, but some have wondered if Porzingis is almost too tall.
Well, you know, there's a concern because he's had a significant injury early in his career, and his frame is...
Gallinari wide open. No good on the quick 3.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
That's going to make a defender think twice about getting in Che's way next time. Posterized.
Phoenix with the ball. They trail by 11. There's 57 seconds left to play here in the third. Beasley outside. Corner shot. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, it's hard to know what Seth's going to do when he pulls up this close. He's excellent at making the defense uncomfortable.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe, he's going to cash in more than not.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
On the wing, Che. 21 points in the game. Pass to Porzingis. Good, and the assist goes to Che. Che's got 6 assists now in the game.
Guys, you know, Porzingis is so skilled as an offensive player. We've become accustomed to this kind of performance from him.
So here's Gallinari. Poked loose. That will count. And the last second attempt does not go in for him.
Boy, if he's not alert and active, that shot's probably good. But Che was right where he needed.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Mavericks lead by 15. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. On the floor for Dallas. Inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. Wright is out there with Che. And it's Curry in at the 3 spot.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Pass to Bridges. Back to Robertson. The pass to Bridges. And Gallinari kicks to Robertson. And the 3 off target.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Pass to Bridges. Fires from deep. And the Suns miss again. Dallas leading by 19. The drive by Che. Second chance shot. Knocked away. He feeds it to Powell. Good. And it's Che picking up the assist.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Phoenix has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Timeout called. The Suns. Clark, a big part of your game was rebounding. You controlled the glass so well. What's one thing you would tell young viewers if they wanted to improve their rebounding?
You know, I'm a little bit out of the norm here, but the biggest thing to me for rebounding is pursuing the ball. Boxing out is important, but pursuing the ball and good timing are the most important elements of rebounding. And that's what I would have players focus on. Pursue the ball.
A platoon swap here for Phoenix. Then for the Mavericks, Okafor is checked in for Powell. Hardaway comes in for Curry. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Wright. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. Now here's Oubre. He's guarded closely. Okobo, that's good.
Could have been much better defense. I mean, you can't give this guy any room to operate.
Shea outside. Shot from 12, and it's Okafor missing.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
In the corner, it's Oubre. Uncovered. It's rebounded by Dallas. Okafor's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. To the inside. Floats it up for Shea. Ayton against Okafor. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And it's the Suns with the ball. Suns trail by 17. On the wing, Booker. From out on the wing, he knocks it down.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Dallas calls timeout.
Trying to stem the tide here.
Yeah, you know, they had to do something, anything to stop this run. You can't just let it go on any longer.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Shea.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Mavericks.
You know, with their fast break operating so efficiently, I mean, you can see why they've gone with it throughout the game.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
Clark, here's kind of an interesting perspective question for you. How much of making it to the NBA is talent? How much of it is the work you put into it?
Kevin, if I were to give this a ratio, I would probably say 65% talent, 35% work ethic, because you have to have a level of unique giftedness to be an NBA player. Many can work really hard and not be NBA caliber. So I think there's, I tilt that 65-35 talent to work ethic.
Here's Oubre. Good. And a nice assist from Booker. Booker's got 5 assists tonight.
Really nice job moving the ball around that time, picking apart that defense.
Shea passes to Porzingis. Here's the break. Takes a 3. Oubre can't get it to go. Mavericks leading by 15.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Dallas.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And asserting themselves up front here, guys. They'll be taking the front end of a 4-game season series between these two. They've got to feel good about getting the upper hand tonight against Phoenix.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Shea.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised. Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
Passes it to Ayton. Here's Okobo. Off target from outside. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The drive by Shea and the dunk by Shea.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exits.
Okobo, the pass to Millsap. Good on the shot.
He's got the perpetual green light, and Millsap has always been a dead-eye scorer from here.
Pass to Porzingis. Back to Shea. Doncic outside. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back. This is Ernie Jones.
Hey, Jet here, man. I thought you guys came out focused and prepared. And once you built that lead, man, you never let up.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaq, for Kenny, for Kevin Harlan, for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Good night.
What's going on, my team community? This is Robbie, and we are here today to talk about dynamic duos. One of my favorite features of this game is the dynamic duos feature. You can get a card that you've had in your collection forever. Maybe it's sitting around. Maybe it's not been used for a little bit. And all of a sudden, if it has a duo in the game, you take two players, and they're more valuable than your individual player. And
The sprawling metropolis of Dallas, Texas is our setting tonight, as seen from above. Well, here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Take a look at the Mavericks. Off to a great start this season, currently in second. And checking out the Clippers, they're down in 7th place.
You know, for Los Angeles, they had much bigger things in mind when the season started. They didn't think of themselves as a middle-of-the-road club, but right now, that's where they are.
I thought this might happen. Confidence can take you a long way, but you also have to have the talent to back it up.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. They're down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And it's George in at the 3. And for the Mavericks, inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. On the wing, Doncic and Jackson. And it's Che in at the 1. Now Che. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Smitty, when a team underperforms early in the season, fans tend to go crazy. I mean, they just can't figure out why this is happening. But what are the players saying to each other on the bench when they're traveling in the locker room?
You know, I think when you're having great communication, Kevin, when guys amongst each other, you're trying to get through it, you're working through it. Whether you get through it or not is fine. I think there's a sign that things are going wrong. Kevin, you hear about these player-only meetings. When you start having 2 or 3 of those, that's when the ship is starting to go south.
And the shot goes in from Kristaps Porzingis.
Look at that pass by Che.
It takes skill to hit the roller where he can do something with it.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
From deep, George sinks the three-pointer.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Shea with it. He had 28 points in the win against the Suns in Phoenix. Out to Porzingis. Shea outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
I like that he's staying active at the offensive end. Che not giving up on that possession.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Outside Williams from the arc. They get it back. And it's Harrell missing.
They are out of rhythm. 1 for 5 so far. You just need to calm down. Woo, you know people are going to be talking about that one after the game.
Che flexing his creativity.
There's the pass to Harrell. The shot by George, wide open. Misses off the right iron.
Missed opportunity, wide open from mid-range. He would love to get that one back.
The three. It's rebounded by Doncic. Mavericks leading by 5. Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Well, Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step-back threes. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game, and don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And this is the first time they've matched up with the Mavericks this year.
And even though they're one of the top teams, they dropped the season series to this squad. So sometimes matchups play a role.
And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Okafor is checked in for Powell. Maxi Kleber comes in for Porzingis. Hardaway's checked in for Justin Jackson. And it's Wright in for Luka Doncic. And then for the Clippers, Zubac is checked in for Harrell. Jonathan Motley comes in for Williams. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Patrick Beverly. The Mavericks shooting their first free throw of the evening.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Talk about a guy who's willing to work. Che did all 4 years of college, fought through the combine, fought through summer league, and look at him now.
And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's his first foul. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter to stop the run. And it's Shamet missing.
There is the value of great rim protection without fouling, forcing the miss.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
They established the pace. They made shots. This is why they're way out in front.
Pass to Zubac. Back to Shamet. Pass to Leonard. That's tipped. Che left side. Oh, and the jam by Che.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
They came in prepared, focused, and really jumped on the other team early.
Now, here's Shamet. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Leonard with the bucket.
Some guys just understand how to generate points. He's one of them.
Now Che. He's got 15. Inside. Kleber. Good. And it's Che picking up the assist.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Off the catch, Leonard with the quick trigger. Nothing but money.
Now here's Che, guarded closely. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his way.
This is his second attempt at the line tonight. Now, here's George. He had a 30-point outing their last game against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And his rebounding was solid in that effort as well. He did a lot of work on the glass, all around it, just... And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
This is my type of approach. Get some high percentage looks. Then later, you can play inside out.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. Right back after this break. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being...
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a comfortable margin for the Mavericks here, guys.
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
They came in looking to attack from the get-go, willing to be physical and setting the tone.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Shea is out there with Seth Curry. Then there's Okafor. Then there's Hardaway. And it's Kleber in at the 4. And we've got an update here, so
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
The free throw drops for Jackson. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Shea passes to Kleber. Okafor kicks to right. Floats it up for Shea. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Well-executed play, punctuated with the big finish by Shea.
Clippers trail by 18. Tipped away. And stolen by Shea. He lobs it up.
And they've got to keep him off the glass. For a little guy, he can be a handful on the offensive boards if you're not aware of it.
And George kicks to Zubats. Back to George. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. George has got 5 points so far.
One sign of a great playmaker, hitting his man in stride.
And close in the shot, even with the foul. Now the 2 free throws.
He's just relentless in his approach. Makes Shea a very difficult guy to defend.
Dallas making a switch here. Hardaway's checked in.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
And stolen by Shea. He dishes it to Okafor. Good, and the assist goes to Shea. Shea's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Staying open to what develops, one of Shea's biggest strengths as a playmaker.
6 seconds left in the first half of basketball. He got it up. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock. Nice job.
And what I love, there was no panic on his part. That's the steady pulse you want in that situation.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
Oof. That first half looked like a dunk contest mixtape. Was just destroying the rim.
And these weren't just putbacks and alley-oops. He was roaring to the rim and finishing.
Getting underway in the second half, here's the 5 for Doc Rivers. The 2 stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And it's Zubats in at the 5, roaming the paint. Steve, we're seeing more and more teams turn to high-motion offense with a lot of passing, a lot of movement. What makes those systems, do you think, successful in today's game?
I think when you're in constant movement, especially with the rules where you can't grab and clutch and touch, it makes it hard for the defenders to keep guys in front of them. And it's hard to switch defensively when you have a team always in motion.
From deep, George. Rebounded by Jackson.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Passes it to Che. To the middle. Here's Powell. Good, and the assist goes to Che. Che's got 6 assists in the game.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Over in the corner, Beverly. And the Clippers miss again.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Here's George. He has 5. Outside Leonard, looking to end the run. The Mavericks pull it in. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Che outside. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on Los Angeles. And the Now here's Che. Defense is right there. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. And it's Okafor missing.
Well, that alley-oop attempt, a case of what could have been, just didn't finish the play.
You know, this is something you practice over and over again. I'm surprised they couldn't execute.
Che outside. The pass to Kleber. It's rebounded by Motley. For Los Angeles, they've gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. Here's George. Misses the chippy right there.
I mean, all period, it's been a struggle for him scoring the ball.
Oh, and the jam by Che.
So quick into the lane, and then the huge finish. Che gives the defenders no time to react.
And DeLon Wright gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Five seconds left in the third quarter of the game. And so it's Dallas, ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. Their defense has been active and effective. Back right after this. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
You see why they trust him with the ball in his hands. He can make the simple play, and he can pull off the spectacular.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. We've got Okafor. Che is out there with Wright. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Kleber in at the power forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Covered by Che. In the corner, it's Robinson. Cans it from downtown. Robinson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
The defense decides to gamble off him, and he cashes in.
Che passes to Kleber. Good, and the assist goes to Che.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
That's tipped and stolen by Wright. By himself. And Che throws it down hard.
In attack mode all evening, Che has carried this offense at times.
About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. And here is Robinson. And he banks in the layup. Robinson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
The reason why it takes extra energy to do it. You have to trust your defensive rotations, but it's worth it.
Yes, that goes in.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
The Clippers shooting 41% for the game. Pass to Motley. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And stolen by Che. And the dunk by Che.
That's a good read. Chase sees the opportunity and goes. I like the way his mind works.
Covered by Che. Knocks it loose. Outside Hardaway. It's rebounded by Motley. Motley's got his 4th rebound in this one. But they recover it. Smith, no good.
What a defensive play. Gets the stop and does it without fouling.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Che passes to Kleba. Fades back. No good that time. The Clippers go the other way with it. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Robinson's got a pair of threes here in the 4th quarter for Los Angeles. Now here's Che. Defense right on him. And the dunk by Che.
Nice job in screen and roll. Just put the ball in Che's hands and let him go to work.
L.A. has gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the 4th quarter. Smith finds Robinson. We've got 1:48 left to play in the final quarter. Che with it. Steve, revenue's climbing. We're seeing some star players make $40+ million a year. Top coaches making around $10 million a year. My goodness. You think coaches are due for a raise, though, Steve?
You know, I think all parties involved, the numbers will keep going up, Kevin. The franchise values are going up to over $1 billion. So I think coaches will get a raise, players will get a raise, and the guys that are playing at a high level, especially for coaches, if they're winning, their numbers will go up.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Mavericks.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Che.
He really played at his preferred pace. Never let adjustments by the defense speed him up or slow him down.
There's 37 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And they double up Che. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
Yeah, just not on the same page. Unfortunate, wasted possession.
And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. Covered by Che. Pass to Kabengele. And that one is stuck right through.
One of the cases where height fails to tell you the whole story.
Here's Brunson. Now Che. Passes to Brunson. Back to Che. And the dunk by Che.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Not messing around at all. They were focused, relentless, and they got the job done.
So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home, no doubt, and the execution was flawless.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey again, everybody. Ernie Johnson.
Hey, what's happening? This is Shaq. You guys came in locked and loaded once again.
And that's a wrap, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. For Shaq, for the Jet, for Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. We will see you again soon.
Look, don't get me started, but here's my thing with instant replay. We've had it for a long time, right? And how much happier are we with officiating?
Good question, Hank.
Right? I mean, have people stopped complaining?
I know I haven't.
That's exactly my point. People are always going to find something to complain about if their team doesn't win. It doesn't matter how much instant replay you use. Meanwhile, you're slowing down the game. And the thing is, there is a million calls you can make on every single play, right? So when does it stop? How about, here's an idea. We accept that this is a game played by humans, right? Judged by humans, and those...
Regardless of mode, these will always work. So Triple Threat Online and Offline is a great place to showcase your new dynamic duos, and you may take your opponent by surprise. If they're not aware that you're running a duo, you may get a 3-point boost to a player that normally can't shoot threes very well, simply because you have them on the court at the same time. It pays to go into your collection, check out your cards, and if you put them together in a lineup on a lineup screen, then you'll be able to see the boost that they have. Some cards even change colors and go up a level.
The city of Charlotte, North Carolina is the setting for our broadcast tonight. And isn't the view magnificent? Hi, everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Welcome, everyone, to the broadcast table. Chris Webber to my right, Greg Anthony to my left. I'm Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge on our sideline. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Take a look at the Hawks. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And guys, right now for Dallas, they've just kind of burst out of the gate here with some fire, feeling disrespected by pundits who overlook them as a top team.
Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. On the wing, Doncic and Jackson. Inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. And it's Shea in at the point. And for the Hornets, Rozier and Monk, they're the backcourt. Washington and Zeller are in the middle. And it's Bridges in at the 3, the small forward. Looking at league trends, do you miss the physicality of years past, which was so much a part of the time that you played?
I do, Kev. I do miss the physical game. I miss the bumping, the grinding outside in there in the paint. But I also love the new game and the spacing. You know, you can appreciate the game so much more. It's like going to a ballet and being able to see the movement of the players, what they're doing out here. And so I love the fact it's not hampered by guys getting thrown to the floor and grab. Do like the physical play, though. I just want to find a happy medium.
Just a proven threat from beyond, and Bridges has a good feel for when they're firing from there.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Oh, great flow to that possession. Two players totally in sync with each other.
Out left to the wing. Here's Monk. Back to Rozier. From outside the arc. Powell pulls it in. Shea. Oh, the power on that throwdown. Wow.
Oh, that's just a highlight reel effort by Shea. I mean, he's part steady performer, part showman.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. We've played just over a minute here in the first. And he lobs it up toward the rim, and the dunk by Powell.
Well, there are some things you just can't teach. That's Shea with tremendous awareness for where everyone is around him.
Rozier against Jackson. Poked away. Doncic with the steal. Now here's Shea. He's tightly guarded. Lock at 6. Sweet little floater. Shea's got his second basket of the night.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now, here's Rozier. Misses in close.
It's not easy to keep him from converting those. I mean, the D has to be airtight.
Pass to Shea. The dish now to Powell. Good, and the assist goes to Shea. Shea's got 3 assists tonight.
Their hot start keeps getting hotter. 5 for 5 now to keep things going.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Poor rotations. I mean, slow help and just not enough toughness on the interior. They've got a lot to talk about.
And here we can check the story out on Terry Rozier. Last season's performance for him averaged about 13 points a game last season, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And you like what he brings backing up the point guard.
Yeah, no doubt. He knows how to run this offense. Tremendous asset to this team coming off the bench.
Now, here's Bridges. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Atlanta. To the paint, here's Portis. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Wow, the superb strength of Portis. You got to hit him harder than that if you're the defense.
Some changes for Charlotte. Howard's checked in for Cody Zeller. Batum comes in for Miles Bridges. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Rozier. Then for the Mavericks, Okafor comes in for Dwight Powell. Hardaway is subbed in for Jackson. And when he comes off the bench, you know Bobby Portis is looking to make an immediate difference.
Oh, yeah, and Portis isn't shy about getting shots up as a reserve. He knows he is out there to stir things up and provide a different look for this team.
Now here's Porzingis. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here's Portis. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Portis has got 5 now.
A high percentage shooter from these spots. Portis has tons of confidence in his inside scoring ability.
Shea passes to Okafor, and Okafor slams it in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's Rubio. Graham, the pass to Howard. Porzingis with the block.
And with his length, Porzingis can be very disruptive on D. Not easy to get the shot off over that huge frame.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
Yeah, and that one, their intensity on the offensive end was not matched by their opponent. That led to some easy buckets.
They just looked a step quicker all game long. They knew they had an advantage on offense.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Lights checked in. Out to Porzingis. Wide open look. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
51 seconds left to play in the first quarter. A shot by Batum, no good. Now here's Shea. Not a lot of room. And stolen by Graham. And now with the fast break, Rubio with the ball. And it's Graham missing. And the Mavericks with possession. They're on a 16-7 run. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Shea passes to Porzingis. He can't get it to go.
That's a shot they're always happy to get, even when he blows the finish.
Lobbed up there for Howard, and it's Howard finishing it off.
Now, this is the chemistry Howard has with his guys. Fantastic at realizing when to go for alley-oops.
Porzingis way out.
Whoa! He gets it off before the horn.
How about that?
Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
Every once in a while, a prayer like that.
The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. The Mavericks on top, up 7. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center. Bobby Portis, who's known for his work ethic, said he learned.
He gets up at 3, 4 in the morning and gets off at 1, 2 in the evening.
A whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Shea throws it down.
Oh, that play took tremendous focus. Shea with the and-one opportunity here.
The creation of the super teams, Chris, is enough being done to ensure a competitive balance in the NBA.
I think so. I think that every year you're going to have to evolve in trying to do enough and see what happened the previous year. But yeah, and the fact remains, though, Kevin, is, I like working with you. You're my friend. I would go work with you. And in basketball, you want to go play with your friends.
Same stuff, yeah.
How do you stop that?
Right.
I don't know. When guys get to hang out in the summer and say, wouldn't it be cool if we got to play together, our kids would play together, and we could win one? That's going to be hard to deter. So I just think it's about how strong the will of the friends are, and more importantly, what is the league doing to kind of not necessarily give as much incentive to do that, but I think the league is doing a great job staying proactive, giving guys a lot of incentive, a lot of reason, a lot of dinero to stay at home with the team.
Washington and Zeller are in the middle. Rozier and Monk, they're the backcourt. And it's Bridges in at the 3. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Clippers delivered quite a performance. He had 42 points, and his hustle on the defensive end was amazing. He had a number of steals. He put up great numbers in a terrific effort. It's not a game that anyone wanted to miss, and he'll be looking for a repeat performance tonight, Kevin.
David, in stretches, he was absolutely dominant. Greg, he'd love to match that performance tonight.
This team needs his contributions. When he's right, he makes winning plays time and time again.
Yeah, Greg, it's all about getting into a comfort zone early. When he does that, he can be very difficult to contain the rest of the way.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
Yeah, he's just not giving the ball up. He's passing with a purpose, and it's leading to scores.
For 3, Bridges, and he's good on the 3 ball. Bridges has got it back down to within single digits for Charlotte. Shea outside. Pass to Jackson. Some nice passing here by Dallas. The drive by Shea. 5 on the clock. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. And this matchup with Dallas, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
That'll do it for the first half. Mavericks lead by 9. And we'll be back with you right after this. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Porzingis having a dominant impact in this game.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? You keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Jackson is the 3 and Porzingis at the 4. Luka Doncic out there with Shea. And it's Powell in at the pivot spot manning the middle. On its way from Monk for 2. Charlotte gets it back. And the dunk by Zeller.
and the work ethic of Zeller. Now, that's what makes him dangerous when scoping out opportunities on the offensive glass.
And with Cody Zeller, he has a very workmanlike approach when he's on the floor.
Yeah, Kevin, and that's what Zeller is all about, playing a simple meat and potatoes type game. I mean, what he does won't show up in the box score, but it'll show up in the standings.
The shot by Monk is no good.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
And the dunk by Doncic.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Passes it to Monk. Back to Rozier. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And the energy and athleticism of Bridges is off the charts. He is a tough cover for the defense.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Zeller. And it's Batum in for Monk. Then for the Mavericks, Okafor is checked in for Powell. Seth Curry comes in for Jackson. And it's DeLon Wright in for Doncic. Now Che. 9 points in the game so far. Down low. It's blocked. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Howard, and Howard with the stuff.
Well, when Batum, Kevin, spots a wide-open teammate, he zips the rock to him quickly. Just exceptional vision.
Che outside. Okafor finds Wright. Now here's Che. And there's the pass to Porzingis. Another shot, and the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him. .58 seconds left in the third quarter. And the dunk by Powell.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And rightfully so. Also, how lackluster was the defense right there with the score this tight?
They get a hand on it, and stolen by Che. And the dunk by Che. Great game for him, double-double now. 11 points and 12 assists.
Oh, man, and when we talk about Che's impact on the game, no better example than that sequence right there.
Pass to Monk to end the run. That one misses. Now Dallas takes it the other way. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. They start a 3-game homestand with that game.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Rubio with it. And stolen by Che. And here we go. Fast break with Che. And Che throws it down.
Oh, well, that sequence was all started because of Che's recognition skills. I mean, he has a good sense for when to gamble for a steal.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
No, doing anything they can to stop the bleeding, but so far they've had no answers.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's Dallas ending the third quarter on a 14-6 run. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Control the pace. Get it to the right guy at the right time. These requirements top the list if you're a good point guard.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Zeller is out there with Bobby Portis. Then it's Bridges. Then there's Terry Rozier. And it's Graham in a 2-guard. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Back to Rozier. And he uses the glass on the layup. Rozier's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Charlotte. And here's Che. Pass to Powell. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Bridges. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup.
Not only a jump shooter, Bridges also dependable at knowing how to get it done inside.
Shea dishes to Jackson. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Oh, forget about three-pointers. Give me a look from right in tight. I'll take it all day long.
Rozier kicks to Portis. Back to Rozier. Over in the corner, Portis. That's good, and it's Rozier with the assist. And that's 13 points for Bobby Portis.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Well, it had to be. These days, you need to stretch the floor somewhat to make everything else work.
And the Mavericks call time here. And one of those little spark plug guys, Terry Rozier, plays the game with Greg, I think, a chip on his shoulder.
I mean, the story goes, as a kid, when his temper flared, his mother would have to sit on him until he cooled down. He's learned to channel that fire and emotion into his game.
Washington's checked in for the Hornets.
Well, Kevin, offensive rebounding is largely about effort. Now, Shea will outwork you if you fail to bring the energy.
A little over a minute and a half of the 4th quarter gone now. Rozier looking around. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Second minute off the clock now in the 4th. Shea outside. Clock at 4. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Porzingis can't hit. Hornets trail by 6. In the corner, it's Bridges. Off target with his 3. The Mavericks have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the 4th quarter. And Shea throws it down.
I tell you what, that was explosive. Shea saw a lane and didn't hesitate.
So Rozier will bring it up for the Hornets. Pass to Graham. Takes the 3. That's good, and it's Rozier with the assist. Rozier's got 4 assists now tonight.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Shea outside. A floater, and the layup is good. Shea's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Well, this is what you love about Shea. He can rise and fire. I mean, he can also hurt you by putting the ball on the floor.
And the Hornets call time here. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Shea.
Yeah, it's his job to keep their offense ticking, and tonight he's earned his keep. He's been able to find open teammates everywhere, feeding the post, creating open jump shots on the perimeter. His passing has been the best element of his game.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. James Borrego had some words for his team over the break. He told them they have to keep fighting. He said, hey, look, we're right here, but we can't make mistakes. You got to be aggressive and smart. Back to you guys.
Now the pass to Porzingis. That one's not going to go. Now Charlotte takes it the other way. Bridges with it. Guarded now by Jackson. At the top of the key, Monk. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
How about the quickness of that release by Monk? An experienced catch-and-shoot player who feels comfortable firing from deep.
To the inside. Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
Look, he may not be thought of as big for a center, but with his ability to go vertical, he sure plays big.
Hornets trail by 5. 1:12 left here in the 4th quarter. On for three. Not going to go that time.
Oh, man. These bad shots. This is the time to work the ball inside to get the best shot possible. I mean, that's the way to make the comeback happen.
And he's capable of scoring from anywhere, really. Doncic has a strong grasp here of the mid-range.
Porzingis with the block. Shea drives in, and Shea throws it down.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Oh, Greg, that's the dagger. You could tell they wanted that one. I know that seals the deal.
34 seconds left in the game. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Showing remarkable poise and focus throughout the game. A sustained effort across the board.
Shea passes to Porzingis. And another assist for him.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Now Monk. They need this, but they get it back. Here's Washington. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. And in the win, what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that.
And that'll do it, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Kenny, man. You've been pretty much unstoppable with the last few games. What's the difference over this stretch?
Oh, man, the difference is got to be the fans. So many people encourage me on a daily basis. They send me inspirations. Now, I know a lot of players out there say they ignore stuff said about them on the social, but let's be real. How do you not see that? I've gotten a lot of love over this last stretch. People excited, you know, they see me. It's a good thing.
Okay.
They just want to be a part of it.
Okay, I like that. Keeping it real.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. What's up, bro? Hey, you played good today, man. Real talk.
do it. All right. Here's what they're starting with. Fantastic.
This is the 2KMC, and y'all better be ready because I got your top plays from my team. You submitted the plays, and now it's time to choose the best. Let's start with Block Monster 8 in Triple Threat. Living up to the name with the block at the rim, then demolishes the D with the Windmill Jam. Putting people on their backs with Opal Josh Smith. Next, we have Blarifying using Pink Diamond Dino Raja. Guarding Samson and snagging the shot out of mid-air. Then powers down the 360 windmill. You gotta switch that matchup. Raja is looking way too quick for Samson to be handling all that. Moving on to Commander Llama and
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
The fans are filling the seats out in Boston, the site of our broadcast, and where the Celtics will be going up against the Dallas Mavericks. For the Mavericks, they come into tonight's game after a loss to the Grizzlies at FedEx Forum. That game was high scoring. Tonight, they'll need to be better defensively. Well, it didn't take Hollywood long to find Che. he's already speaking with Maverick Carter about production deals, Shaq.
Well, the kid can act. He can act so good. I actually got a role for him in Kazam 2.
Oh, what a lucky guy.
Look, I made movies when I played. It did not hamper my dominance one bit.
Hey, look, everybody's not Shaq. Everybody can't do that. I have a production company now, just letting you know, Smith Entertainment Group. And I could not have done this while I was playing. Impossible. Che, concentrate on basketball. That's where the bread is buttered.
Let's go out to Kevin Harlan. They're getting ready for the opening tip.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine to get ready. But once they take the floor, they're one single unit. The blue line making its way out of the station are setting tonight, Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. D.A., take it away.
Well, last season, the Celtics tried to balance minutes between a talented core of younger players along with their trio of superstar veterans. With the departure of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, now youth must be served. The question is, how far can that carry them?
And I feel, David, they're still in great position. I know you do too. Thanks for that report. And now here's the upcoming schedule for the Dallas Mavericks. On Thursday, they're off to New York to face the Knicks. Then on Saturday, they'll take on Marc Gasol and the Toronto Raptors.
And that game against the Warriors, I think this squad has the confidence that they can play to their strengths against them. And even though they're going after the #1 team right now in our league, they feel they can get the W.
Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Kleba is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. And it's Brunson in at the point guard. And for Boston, Walker and Smart, the guards. Brown and Hayward, the duo at forward. And it's Cantor in at the 5 spot. Of course, for some players now in their second seasons, you can tell just how big the jump is between that first year and their second year in the league.
I think, Kevin, it's probably the single biggest growth opportunity. One of the things that happens is the game slows down for second-year players. Very rarely do you see a guy take...
So both teams making some changes here. Brunson scanning the floor. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Sinks the triple.
Well, the assertiveness to his approach. Luka Doncic on the catch and shoot. Easy.
Back to Walker. Celtics passing it around. Here's Smart. Porzingis with the block. Fast break, Dallas. Here's Brunson. And they're unable to get the tying basket there.
Boy, the offensive flow just isn't there right now. 1 for 5 to start the game.
6 feet out. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
That one is off.
And when you think about Brad Stevens, he has one thing he cites quite often. The quote is, toughness is being able to physically and emotionally perform your task through any condition. And boy, when you think about his teams, they have embodied that for most of his tenure.
And he's good on the second. And Doris, the Celtics seem like they lost a bit of that resiliency and some of that composure last season. How do you think they get that back?
I think, Kevin, it has to begin with their leaders. Those are the players you expect to set the tone with toughness and togetherness.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Last game for the Mavericks, it was a loss to the Grizzlies of Memphis.
Hey, and you could say they probably were in control for 3 quarters of that game, but in that 4th quarter, man, they just fell apart.
That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. And they're on the break. Smart finds Walker. Good, and Smart gets the assist. And it's 6 points for Walker.
Oh, Kevin, don't you love how unselfish Marcus Smart is? Sees the open man, whips the pass over in just the right amount of space.
Back to Doncic. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Doncic has got 7.
You cannot let Doncic get established on the interior. This guy feels very comfortable wherever he is on the floor.
Back to Smart. And that one goes long. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Dallas. Trailing by 2. Hardaway with a wide open look. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. In the corner, Smart with it. A 3-pointer, no good.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through, see if you can get an easy opportunity. He has not missed a shot in this quarter. They've tried running different things in him, but he's been unstoppable.
Outside, Walker. 6 to shoot. A 3-ball. It's rebounded by Dallas. Porzingis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Now here's Brunson. Guarded by Walker. Outside, Porzingis. The pass to Brunson. Drills the 3-pointer.
How about the vision from the young Latvian Porzingis showing he really can read the floor and capitalize.
Smart on the wing. Can they get it? And the layup is up and in.
Well, everyone's seeking those high percentage looks in the restricted area. Nicely done there.
The Mavericks leading. Now here's Brunson. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Doncic, no good.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Here's Smart. And slam dunk by Smart.
Wow, how about the dominance, the speed, the physicality of that from Marcus Smart? Go to work, son.
Dallas has gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Doncic passes to Kleba. No good on the triple.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
The baseline J. Outside, Smart. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Porzingis. Doris, you and I enjoy discussing pure scores, great shooters, but guys that can score a myriad of ways. Give us a couple of names that we don't always hear about that really impressed you.
Well, one young man who I think has got an offensive game that is really continuing to grow and is quite beautiful already is Zach LaVine. But probably the best example, Kev, would have to be the multi-time winner of the Six-Man Award, and that's Sweet Lou Williams. This guy can score against any defense. He's great in pick and roll. He has become a better playmaker, but Lou Williams is a problem to guard.
As people will say, he is a professional scorer.
That's perfect, yes.
And it's Green with the jam.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
Mavericks trail by 4. Here's Wright. Doncic outside. Right side Curry. Traps in the tray.
Well, you cannot let Seth Curry have room to shoot on the perimeter. You are asking for trouble.
Walker finds Tice. Buries it down low. 6 points for him. And here is Wright. Pass to Curry. Wright with it. Back to Curry. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
You can see how hard it is to shake Seth Curry's focus. Body him up all you want. If this guy's locked in, he's going to get a bucket.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throw tonight.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon.
Robert Williams is checked in for Boston. Free throw no good for Curry.
And the Celtics, Brad Stevens, one of the youngest head coaches in the league and also one of the more respected.
And Greg, I was surprised that he didn't get any Coach of the Year votes 2 seasons ago. Think about it, the Celtics.
A whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Porzingis, he's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Maxi Kleba comes in for Dwight Powell. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Luka Doncic. And it's Jalen Brunson in for DeLon Wright. Brown and Hayward, they're the wings. Then there's Smart. Then it's Enes Kanter. That's the Boston 5. Hardaway, no good. Celtics trail by 12. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And in their history, the Dallas Mavericks have never moved up in the draft, and they needed to do so this summer to keep their pick.
Well, you think about it, Greg, they went into it with a little over a 26% chance to move up into the top 4. That did not happen. The Hawks collecting that 10th pick from the Luka Doncic trade.
He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, there is a lot of optimism in Dallas for the tandem of Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis said, "We clicked right away. We're both European players, similar roots, both speak Spanish. That'll translate on the court. We can be something special." Kevin, look out for them to compliment and criticize one another in a different tongue.
If they play to their potential, they could be scary. Thanks, David.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
Over in the corner, Brown hits it from 3-point range. And now just a 5-point Maverick lead.
Well, to me, that's excellent timing from Jaylen Brown. He shoots with confidence, knowing his teammates trust him.
Hardaway kicks to Curry. Thompson. Shot clock at 5. Down to the right wing. Kleba. Dallas, no good that time either.
Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
The offensive rebound. Off with the layup.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
And it's Smart with the ball for the Celtics. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And it was a matchup you thought they would have cruised through, but they actually dropped the game in this series last year. Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
Now, Brunson. Curry finds Hardaway. Passes it to Kleba. And he lays it straight in. And the Mavericks lead by 7.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Here's Cantor. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got 5 assists in the game.
I love how hard Enes Kanter plays on the offensive end. Go ahead and finish through that contact.
Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation.
What I love about Marcus Smart is every single trip up the floor, this guy is going to be in your grill, and it cannot be a pleasant experience to have this man guarding you.
And the technical free throw is good. And that defensive pressure of Smart will wear you down, Doors, over the course of a game.
Kevin, it takes its toll because his combination of athleticism, strength, and motor makes him an absolute monster on the defensive end.
Kleba, no good.
Boy, he cannot get anything to fall, but the teammates, boy, have they delivered.
Brown dishes to Smart. Stolen by Brunson. And the pass to Kleba. Dallas, no good that time either.
Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot.
The Celtics have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Doris, you graduated as your college's all-time assist leader. Talk about some of the key traits of a great playmaker.
I think historically speaking, when we think about great lead guards, Kevin, we talk about unselfishness, vision, patience. Who are the players that make their teammates better? Though probably the one communication. Are you constantly looking for opportunities to communicate to your teammates, make them feel good about themselves, give them confidence? That, to me, is probably the most underrated aspect of it.
And Doris, when you played, you took such great pride in each and every one of those things.
I did. I love trying to make my teammates better. It feels great to make somebody feel good. Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful, and because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Celtics trail by 7. Pass to Brown. Just 5 to shoot. To the middle. Shoots from 8. There's the steal. Pushing it up. Here's Brunson. Throws down off the coast-to-coast drive.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
Big-time play right there, showing the activity and ability to impact this game.
In the corner, it's Hayward. Hayward on the wing. There's the triple. Drills it from outside. Hayward's got 7 points.
They're having more success from three-point range here in the second after a rough first quarter from deep.
And stolen by Hayward. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Tries again, and he sinks the layup. 14 points for him.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Oh, he sure is. I mean, these past 2 games, his energy level has been sensational. Whether it's a putback like that or other hustle plays, he's been everywhere. Well, after a less than stellar start in the first quarter, you like to see that shot go down.
Brown outside. Misses the 3.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
Hardaway passes to Brunson. 5 to shoot. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Curry from deep three-point land. And Boston with the rebound.
And after nailing a three-pointer in the first quarter, he has yet to connect here in the second.
Cantor's shot is off. Dallas leading by 6 to the right side. Brunson, good.
Well, you want some unselfishness from a guy who's capable of scoring, and Tim Hardaway says, you know what, my teammate's open, I'm going to get him the ball.
Back to Brown. Porzingis with the steal. Curry finds Brunson, and it's denied. That's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. Semi Ojeleye is checked in for Gordon Hayward. Then for the Mavericks, Dwight Powell's checked in for Maxi Kleber. Doncic comes in for Curry, and it's Wright in for Jalen Brunson. Hardaway for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. And the Mavericks lead by 11.
I just love how confident Tim Hardaway Jr. is from long distance. This guy will cash in from there.
Ojeleye kicks to Smart. Celtics passing it around. The kick out to Brown. Just 5 on the clock. The Celtics need to get a shot off.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. 59 seconds left to play in the first half. Now, here's Doncic, who's coming off a 25-point game against Memphis.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
And that one's good. Right.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
And so it's Smart. He'll bring up the ball for the Celtics. 11-point game. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
And good job they're doing at the line this quarter. They'll need to continue converting those free throws. They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
And so he hits both. Doncic against Green. And Doncic gets it to go. Doncic has got 13.
Well, you want to talk about a picture-perfect jumper. Luka Doncic knows a thing or two about getting into the mid-range.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, in the first half, Jay, you got on the glass. Was this a conscious choice to set a tone with your rebounding?
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. Dwight Powell comes in for Maxi Kleber. Seth Curry, he's checked in for Hardaway. And it's Wright in for Jalen Brunson. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Wright and Doncic are the backcourt pair. Seth Curry is out there with Dwight Powell, and it's Cauley-Stein in at the 5, down low.
I think Brown demonstrating he's got a great understanding of the game. He keeps his head moving, his eyes open so he can spot the open man.
Well, the big expectations for the Celtics going into last season never translated to the success many thought they would have. The vast majority of experts predicted that the Celtics would be in the NBA Finals. They were unequivocally, I think, the most disappointing team in the league. They just couldn't put the pieces together.
Boston's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Got a piece of it. Powell with the steal. And now here comes Wright, leading the break. Lays it in off the breakaway. Wright's got 9.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
Endures the depth of talent for the Celtics. In the end, it was their undoing.
100% right, Kevin. Too many players were unhappy about their roles. Too many guys felt like they could be doing more and could never adjust. As a group, trying to stay upbeat and connected with that amount of talent proves something the Celtics were incapable of doing. It draws more attention to the Warriors' sustained success. Their ability to make all that talent work was impressive.
And it's time for an injury report. And let's get an update on Kemba Walker's injury. David, any news there?
Well, guys, I had a minute to catch up with the Celtics head athletic trainer. He is in a lot of pain right now because of what they told me is a dislocated finger. While the season isn't very old, this is still distressing to hear, and somebody is going to have to pick up the slack while he's out. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks for the status report there, David. At least we now know, Greg, how he's doing.
Yeah, when you talk injury, the unknown factor is always a difficult thing to deal with.
There's no question, because Even if you know what's wrong, individuals have different healing times. The time frames can be totally different for similar injuries. I am simply blown away by his accuracy. He has made every shot, and what's most important, his team is winning.
And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Powell's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Wright, the pass to Curry. Back to Wright. That one doesn't drop. Good tee by Williams. Boston trailing. Lays it up off the glass. He's got 20. Third quarter, guys, and this has been a neck-and-neck game.
Both teams getting it done defensively, as evidenced by the 8 lead changes thus far.
A wide-open look here for Wright. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Well, he hasn't proven to be much of a floor spacer for them. He had the 1-3, but that was back in the first half.
Brown, the pass to Williams. Shoots over Curry. Williams can't get it to go. And it's Curry with the ball, bringing it up for Dallas. Three-pointer right. Rebound by Williams.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now.
Walker's checked in for the Celtics. .133 left in the third quarter. Curry against Green. With the teardrop, Curry can't get it to go.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Here's Brown. It's rebounded by Doncic. Doncic has got 6 rebounds now in the game. And 1:01 left in the third. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Boston's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. And Wright pulls it down.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Gotta recognize the situation, trying to get a 2-for-1.
Well, this is where the play call is crucial, right? If you're in a 2-for-1, you've got to get the first shot quickly.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And he knocks down the first one. Boston making a switch here. Hayward's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. Here's Doncic. 18 points for him. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Cauley-Stein. And here is Doncic, guarded by Walker. Offensive rebound. In the corner, it's Hayward. Over Wright. Second shot opportunity. Doncic with the steal. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Celtics out in front, leading by just 1. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court for the Celtics, Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. And it's Hayward, then it's Williams. The Mavericks trailing. Right side Curry. In the corner, right with it. He dishes it to Powell. 6 on the shot clock. Passes to Wright. Lets it go from deep. Score the basket, his 5th of the game. He's missed 6 shots against those 5 makes.
First 3 of the half. Second of the game. Can he heat up?
Walker, bounce pass. Goes back up. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Walker against Wright. Outside Curry. Now here's Wright. He's covered closely. Ball's knocked loose. Williams with the steal. And here comes Walker leading the fast break. They get it again. The shot by Williams, no good. The Mavericks leading. Wright looking around. And Cauley Stein has it in the corner. Right side Curry. Makes it off the glass.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Here's Walker. And the layup's good off the glass.
Vital basket there. This is just the time and really just the situation when he looks to take over.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's check in with David Aldridge for an injury update on Porzingis. David.
Thanks, guys. I got a status report from the Mavericks head athletic trainer. He said that he does have a broken nose. It's definitely a painful injury, but not a worst-case scenario. This is not how they wanted to begin the season, and it'll be interesting to see how much this hurts them. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks. Well, guys, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, it sounds like he's got a long road ahead.
Both teams deciding to change it up. 1:07 left in the fourth quarter, and Brown throws it down.
Oh, Kevin, Jaylen Brown with the big shot, proving hard work pays off.
Hardaway against Brown. Right side Hardaway. Curry on the wing. Guarded by Smart.
And it's still a rare sight to see rebound numbers like the ones he's had tonight.
His production has been unbelievable, a testament to how much he cares about his craft.
Brunson kicks to Powell. Wants to get it to Smart and does. And now we've got the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5.
And you know what I love, Kevin, is Marcus Smart just continues to improve. We know he's a powerful athletic guard, but he wants to keep building different aspects of his game.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Porzingis is checked in for Cauley Stein, and it's Maxi Kleber in for Dwight Powell. And the Mavericks call time here. They're behind by 6. 27 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now a chance to check out some of the tremendous play tonight from our Jordan player of the game.
And he's done all the dirty work tonight, that's for sure. As physical as he's played, he's been a very tough cover, always forcing his man into uncomfortable spots. And more often than not, that approach has earned him a trip to the line.
Porzingis passes to Brunson. Here's the 3. Rebound Boston. And so they choose to intentionally foul. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. And so it's Barea with it. They'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Three-pointer right. The shot will not fall. So we see Boston get the win here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they play in rhythm, it never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.
Hey, man, check.
I appreciate that, Coach. Thank you. You're impressing our
Jay, get in here. I got some fun stuff for you today. Consider it done. Great choice, by the way.
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
sets with precision, and they're not afraid to get dirty. If you ask me, I think this one's going to be an absolute slugfest. But what do you guys think? What are your biggest concerns heading into the conference final showdown? We'll talk about it after we play a couple songs for you. You're listening to Hank and the Hornet, only on 98.9 The Flex.
Get hip or get stung.
Your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes.
Welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
shooting 2. Way to hit it.
Hey, Diego Williams. Hey, nice basket, Williams.
One shot. Good hit, man. Good hit.
Number 10.
Get on Williams.
Hey, get on PG. Oh, get in. LeBron.
Number 10.
Basket's good. Shoot it right. That's all you. Watch PG. New play. Yep. I'm up. Fish. Yo, Kawhi. PG.
man up on PG.
That's all day, Paul.
Yo, Rashawn.
Who's got Lou?
PG. Rondo.
Hey, take Leonard.
Number 10.
Way to grab that, Jokum. Strong foul. Get to him. Downstream. Better get that board, Joe King.
Do you have a ball?
Number 10. Number 10.
Nice shot, PG.
Number 10.
Play strong on the glass, Noah. Way to grab that rock, Jermichael. Yo, man up on Paul. Yo, whose man is Paul? Eyes on PG.
Number 10.
Yo, check Paul. Oh, gotta move, Jackson. Check PG. The ball. Cross screen. Go over it. No, Jackson.
Yeah, good rebound, Jermichael. Watch PG. Watch PG.
New play. Use that. Huh? Watch that shooter. Back up, bro. Get back. I have ready to go. I'm back. Yo, watch PG. Out. One more. Knock down. Watch that shooter.
Way to go, Joakim.
Hey, Shaq here. Another game, another double-double. If you had to choose, which is the greater value to this team, your passing or your scoring?
Yeah, baby, get some.
Yeah, man. B, tell your family I said what's up.
Yeah, no doubt.